Abraham Lincoln. Biography by Tyler Coy. Abraham Lincoln was the 16th President of the United States of America, a war captain, and a lawyer. He was born in Kentucky. His parents were Thomas Lincoln and Nancy Lincoln. His sister is named Sarah Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln moved to Indiana at age 7. Abraham Lincoln had to be strong to help his father when he moved to Indiana because he had to help his dad build a log cabin for his family to live in. Thomas Lincoln bought some land at a place called Pigeon Creek, which was where they lived in Indiana. He was born on February 12, 1809. His school was a log cabin where there was only one classroom every single kid went to. Nancy Lincoln's uncle and aunt moved to Pigeon Creek. They were Mr. and Mrs. Sparrow. The Sparrows liked to occasionally come to visit the Lincolns. But then, during the fall season, a disease fell into Pigeon Creek called milk sickness. The disease took away the Sparrows and Nancy Lincoln. Sarah became a housemaker and helped around the house. At 11, Abe went to school by little because Thomas didn't believe in education and he also needed support from Abe. At 19, 6 feet 4 inches tall, Abe went on a business trip to New Orleans. Abe made $8 monthly for his family. Later on, Abe and his family moved to Illinois. At 21, he moved out to New Salem and lived there for 6 years. He had done many different jobs, from an honest storekeeper to a dusty mailman, and a mailman with the postal service in his tall big hat. Abe was a very helpful, athletic, and a funny person. In 1832, he had an interest in politics, but he lost the first election for Illinois State Representative due to the war against Indians for land. He was a captain in the war. In 1834, he was elected as Illinois State Representative. He became an important man who worked in the state capitol. He taught himself to be a lawyer in a few months in New Salem. He gained the most votes to move the capital of Illinois from Vandalia to Springfield. Also in Springfield, he opened a law office and met his soulmate Mary Todd. Abe and Mary had 4 children: Edward, Robert, William, and Thomas. In 1847, people elected him as the United States Congressman after 8 years as a state representative, and he worked in Washington, D.C. for 2 years. Abe was out of political career for 5 years because people did not like what he said about the war with Mexico. In 1854, Abe was very angry about a new law which allowed citizens of Kansas, Nebraska to elect if they wanted slaves or not. So Abe went back into politics. In 1858, the Battle of the Giants, or the Great Debates between Lincoln and Douglas for senator, made Lincoln more famous even though he lost. In 1860, Abe won the election for president, but he became the president on March 4, 1861. From November to March, the country was divided into 2. 7 states from the South founded a new country in America called the Confederate States of America, which started the Civil War. Abe wanted the South states to come back to America. Abe said that the Confederate States were still part of America. Abe wrote the Emancipation Proclamation to free the slaves. In November 1863, at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, Abe delivered a speech called the Gettysburg Address. The Civil War lasted for 4 bloody years. In January 1865, Congress voted for a law that forbid slaves. The Civil War ended in April 1865. April 14th was a good day for Abe and his wife because they were laughing at Ford's Theater and were having a great time in Washington, D.C. But his life was taken away by a person named John Wilkes Booth. A train took Lincoln's body back to Springfield, Illinois. Many people saw the train pass and couldn't believe their precious president had died. They knew that he had loved them and that he loved his country too. He had kept his country united and had taken it through a long and horrible war. Because of him, the country became one where all people were free. He was a great, kind, honest president. In the Gettysburg Address, he said, "The U.S. was a country of liberty. In it, all men were created equal. The soldiers have died so the United States of America might stay alive." Lincoln has also said these quotes, Every child should have the chance to go to school. Whatever you are, be a good one. The best thing about the future is that it comes one day at a time. I am a slow walker, but I never walk back. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not to yourself. My concern is not whether God is on our side, but to be on God's side, since He is always right. We cannot escape history. Character is like a tree and reputation is like a shadow. The shadow is what we think of, while the tree is the real thing. Without Abraham Lincoln, the United States would probably still be 2 countries today instead of 1. Plus, February 12th would not be President's Day to honor his birthday. Without him, there would still be slavery to this day.